join once again for making history here. Thank you.
And now preparing to take off. Chief pilot as himself, Dave McKay, who is a veteran of the Royal Air Force, and then you've got
no, not that. His fellow test pilot, also there with them in the cockpit. As you know, we mentioned his name at times. His name is, so I don't mispronounce it. He goes by, thank you, sir. That's what I was just going to say. He has a great nickname, and they're both really typical test pilots. I've talked to them both many times. They are both so cool and calm and collected. You wonder if their pulse ever elevates, because they are so on top of every detail here. But it's going to be a slow climb out of the New Mexico desert to then get to 50,000 feet to do the release, and then firing the rocket and kicking into 3.5 Gs, 2,300 miles per hour as they go at Mach 3 up towards the edge of space, which, as we've said, is in excess of 50,000 miles above the Earth. 50 miles above the Earth, and that they will probably go to more like 55, 56 miles above the Earth. That's what, in fact, Dave McKay has already done in the same vehicle. Why does that matter? It's bragging rights, because the NASA and the military say 50 miles is the edge of space. And we've got the folks over in the Bezos camp saying it's only 62 miles. Doesn't matter if you're floating weightless for 3 to 4 minutes, you get the same effect. And regardless, the FAA is still going to give those
folks. You're standing by for takeoff. Folks, you're standing by for takeoff.
So really, I gotta say, as you know, anything that Richard Branson ran on, and they tend to do it big, and they've certainly done this one up big. They run a big performance on the stage here. So as you take a look at that aircraft, and you can see, just to make it clear to anybody who hasn't watched this already, hanging below Eve is in fact Unity, right? It's latched underneath that big wing. So at 50,000 feet, you're going to hear the pilots going through a series of checklists: L10, L9, L8, all the way down to L1. L stands for launch. So literally going through their checklist, and when they get down to the bottom of that, then you're going to see them release Unity. Unity doesn't go far, doesn't drop very far. Eve pulls away, and then Unity lights the rocket. That rocket that will carry them up towards 50,000 feet at Mach 3. We mentioned this earlier, but this is a hybrid motor. It uses both solid and liquid propellants. And when they get to altitude, they're going to have only about 3 to 4 minutes of being weightless. And then candidly, because of the fact that some of these folks Richard's never been in space before, the 2 of the 3 passengers have never been in space before, I've wondered whether that's going to be so disorienting for the moment that they're going to be able to think about their tasks that have been assigned to them. I think they're going to be so overwhelmed with just the idea, oh my goodness gracious, I'm in, a very low orbit.
Another sunny day in New Mexico. When does it start? Any minute now.
Dead silent. Silence here on the ground. They're going to be greeted by a big performance here on the ground.
Greetings, planet Earth, and welcome to Spaceport America, the beautiful home of Virgin Galactic in Sierra County, New Mexico, and the stage for today's momentous occasion. I'm delighted you can join us for an historic day. Over the next few hours, you'll see live coverage of today's spaceflight, unprecedented access inside the spacecraft, and a live performance of a brand new song by multi-platinum artist Khalid. Entrepreneur, philanthropist, iconoclast, activist, adventurer, billionaire, goatee host organism. Later today, Richard Branson and his crew will return to Earth as astronauts. Hello everyone, I'm Stephen Colbert. Thank you for joining us. Earlier this morning, Richard Branson and his crew arrived at Spaceport America ready to embark on a life-changing journey. When Richard called me and asked me if I'd like to host today's live stream, I said, "Who is this? And how did you get my number?" Then he said who it was, explained today's flight test mission, and I said, yes, I would be honored to host your launch. After all, I've known Richard for years. I've never been to his private island, but that's okay. That's how close we are. Friends don't have to ask friends to their private island, evidently. And to be fair, it might be because I've spent most of our friendship making fun of him on TV. Long-time viewers of this broadcast know that I have an ongoing feud with Sir Richard Branson, Virgin CEO and adult of the corn, Richard Branson. Sir Big Baby here. Having what some critics have called facial hair. That little tree slop clinging to your chin. The grinning goat man. A cross between David Bowie and Pam the goat god.
Here's that alignment.
Obviously, I said all of that in character on a comedy show. So, Richard, I want you to know, as myself, sincerely, I meant every word. But there is one thing Richard and I do have in common. A deep, lifelong passion for space exploration. That's why Richard founded Virgin Galactic in 2004 with the dream of sending private citizens into space. Now, to do that, he needed to build every part of a whole new industry. He had to construct a spacecraft capable of the journey. Then, to launch these space planes, he had to help create the world's first commercial spaceport. And most importantly, he had to find the people capable of turning his dream into a reality, as well as people brave enough to get on a spaceship built by the guy who launched a soda this awful. Seriously, he lost money selling sugar water. All aboard! Today marks the culmination of Branson's dream. He and his crew will set off on a supersonic voyage in which they'll achieve a maximum velocity of more than Mach 3.5 and ultimately enter zero gravity. Imagine staring out the window onto the vast expanse of space and seeing Earth below, our beautiful blue planet staring back at you. It really puts all of humanity into perspective. Unless, of course, you're the guy in the middle seat. Then you have to ask the astronaut sitting next to the window to put it all in perspective for you. Oh, and I'm being told that there are no middle seats in space. Thank you, science. It's been a dream of mine to go into space ever since I was a child. Unfortunately, I cannot be on the spacecraft today. I had a thing. Also, I was not technically invited, but Richard was generous enough to give me a spacecraft of my very own. And I will be using this model to give scientifically accurate play-by-play of today's historic events, as well as doing this. The Virgin Galactic crew are an inspiration. An inspiration to be bold, to be audacious, and to never give up in the pursuit of even your wildest dreams. So let's now take you to where the action is happening, live in the studio at Spaceport America, where your other co-hosts are standing by. First, one of the newest members of the Virgin Galactic team. She's a science author, an expert in space exploration, a bioastronautic researcher, and most impressively, a TikTok star. Kelly Girardi. Great to have you here, Kelly. Next up, a man who has flown 2 space shuttle missions and spent time on the International Space Station, where he served as commander and performed a viral David Bowie cover. Here he is, the first man to do open mic in zero-G, Chris Hadfield. Welcome, Chris. And finally, your mission host for today. She's a structures operations engineer for Virgin Galactic, and fun fact, actually got married in the spaceship that will be taking the crew up today, Veronica McGowan. So now I turn it over to Veronica, Chris, and Kelly for more on today's historic flight.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you all, live from Spaceport America. It's a momentous day for Sir Richard Branson, a milestone for Virgin Galactic, and a historic event for the future of spaceflight. Just 7 weeks ago, Virgin Galactic completed the first ever human spaceflight from the great state of New Mexico. And today, our founder and his crew will become some of the very few people to have experienced space travel. Let's take a look at how they arrived to Spaceport America.